Live,
We're
pal.
live?
Yeah,
Shit.
we're here. Yeah,
We're queer.
we're in prime time this time. We are in
Oh,
prime time.
5:05
Everybody,
Eastern.
to the Gout Foundation. And we have in prime time. I'm actually
The
pointing the
best
correct
scout
way for once.
machine. The best scout machine. The Doja Cat of Wrestle Talk. And we also
I was
have.
wondering if I froze. I was wondering if I froze long enough, if you would think that I just froze because of the issues we were
I
having
thought you
before we went on
did.
air. And you just keep on saying the intro over and over again.
we have.
The best
We have.
scout machine.
Best scout machine. And Jay. Jay. We're live.
And Jay
Why are you
going
frozen?
and everybody, it's your boy Jay. It is the Gout Foundation with a special announcement. Next week, live from Ontario, Canada, where you can get the International Championship, will be defended as we give our big announcements. I don't know how I burned my eyes doing that. I feel like if I had my glasses, or if I had glasses, I act like I wear glasses. If I wore
I
glasses,
keep thinking you do.
my eyes open wide like that all the time. I feel like I should
You
start
didn't
wearing
blink.
because this is the only glasses I have like close to me. But you can't see my eyeballs. Just
I have these
pretend I'm
glasses.
not blinking. Can you see better or worse?
Better. But everything looks like ass.
Well,
there we go.
Some stinger ass. It's some stinger ass, so it's all good. But last time we had to cut it short because I had no voice, which really sucked. I didn't even get my voice back for like I believe like 2 more days after that.
Oh wow! Can't imagine going through that.
I think. Oh, we got
my God.
watching. Oh,
holy shit!
Hey! See, I told you if we went on
like
in
the
prime
fire,
time, somebody would see us. And you know what?
let the villagers know.
I'm gonna play him something special because last time I feel like he turned off before he got to see it. So here we go.
Do you know where the fuck you're going?
No!
Whoa!
Self bet. He's a great driver. No, he's a great passenger.
I've been making the scenes for his wife's car accidents like progressively like worse and worse like every week. Like
the next one needs explosions.
Well, no, we don't want to. We're not AEW, or at least I'm not. I'm not Tony Khan. I'm not going to blow my load immediately. You got to work your way up to, because I felt like that was a pretty big jump to jump up to like a building collapse. But my justification was that it was still one car impact. So that was my justification why it was okay to have a building collapse. But
you should have edited in like the crash from the Blues Brothers with like the multi-car.
Well, that was one of the first ones that I had looked at because I was looking at like movie ones, and I know this sounds weird, but they look too staged. They look too fake. And I want it to be authentic to how well Self Bet's wife actually drives when she's on the road. So I don't want to put anything too stagey on it. But I think
something realistic and less murderous.
Yeah. But the Brothers one does look realistic enough because I actually knew like 4 people that drove cars in that car accident. Like, one was my uncle. And so they said that they actually like drove and crashed their car. But it was at like 10 miles an hour and they did something with like high speed film at the time, so it made it look like they were actually driving faster, and the road was wet to make the tires screeching and stuff like actually happen. But they were legitimately now it was 10 miles an hour, not 50 miles an hour like the movie would make you think, but
Yeah.
still they were legitimately crashing cars into each
I like
other. But
speed.
yeah, I'm
Wet, hot,
gonna
nasty speed.
but I'm building my
Eleanor
way up to an
Roosevelt.
explosion. Good old Eleanor. But the day
That
after we
bitch.
last recorded, the day after I last recorded, we all got to hear the
Satan?
WWE draft happen.
Oh. Ooh.
Now, I was kind of upset that my overall number one pick, Gunther, didn't get picked immediately. I was a little upset at that.
That's my elementary school choir photo.
Well, I have one of Seth, but I'm not going to show that one. I think you saw that one last week, didn't you?
Yes, I stared at it for hours.
And then good old
What
Pat
a dick. Like a teeny. I feel like he's that guy. That Pat McAfee right there looks like he has a pod collection.
I was about to click on the Seth picture, but right when you said what a dick, I didn't want those two to like sync up like perfectly.
That would have been
So
perfect.
that stopped me.
That picture of Pat McAfee, he looks like he owns an extremely dirty hacky sack in his pocket.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. There is definitely he's one of those guys that carries around like however like the tabs off of the beer cans or the bottles or the beer caps like each night he goes out drinking. So he could be like, "Oh yeah, I drank like 9 beers so far tonight, guys," and then like shoves them back in his pocket. Like he saves like his baggies of weed just in case there's that tiny little bit of dust, and he could add it up between all of his
A
bags.
little bit of resin to smoke.
Yeah, yeah. That's that Pat McAfee there.
He listens to Cottonmouth Kings. Okay.
Hey, I actually got into a discussion with my daughter about the Cottonmouth Kings the other day. She messaged me out of nowhere and asked if the Insane Clown Posse sang "Fuck the Police." And I was like, no, but I'm pretty sure the Cottonmouth Kings did, and Insane Clown Posse was in the song. But I did not think in the year 2023 I'd be talking about the Cottonmouth Kings.
It's a weird year.
In 1 week, mind you, with 2 different people.
And me.
But the draft, how do you feel? How do you feel it went? Do you think it went the way it should have? Do you think people got split up the way that you would have wanted to see them split up? And also the kicker question, the big controversy in wrestling. What do you feel about the fact that even though the draft happened, people on SmackDown are able to fight for a Raw exclusive title?
Oh boy, that's a whole lot right there. I gotta say that the draft, I believe, went exactly as it should have. Terribly. It was stupid. It was dumb. Incredibly unnecessary because we're going to be seeing, like, what's so special nowadays about, oh, he's going to be over here and he's just going to be over here. I don't know. The exclusivity feels dumb, especially, and you're getting screwed over if you're going over to SmackDown because, you know, you're not going to be champion. Roman is going to be champion forever into the 1940s when he's old and gray and looking like Moses and about to part the Red Sea. But I really hope what
is that at least Roman stayed on SmackDown, which is only a 2-hour show. So at least those people that don't have the chance to win a world title aren't going to have to constantly be on TV over and over and over again.
I'll tell you that much. it's only 2 hours of you not being champion every week, as opposed to, if he went to Raw, that's 3 hours where you will not be champion that week.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
plus,
unless you're one of those.
because SmackDown being on network television as opposed to cable, there's one less segment, like when you divvy up like the time as far as hours. So there's less of a potential for, like, for instance, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Here we go. Perfect example. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. They're on Raw at least 2 times each every single time. Well, on SmackDown, other than members of the Bloodline, you really don't see somebody on more than one segment unless it's a episode where they're telling a story over the entire night. But then most likely you're not going to see that person the next week or as much the following week. So I feel like it is kind of a consolation to where that person isn't constantly in front of the crowd, to where the crowd's like, well, why isn't this guy fighting for the world title? I've seen him
He's
twice
on
tonight. I
multiple.
saw him twice.
True. Like, it would be a shame to
So
have Cody on SmackDown at the beginning, at the end, and it's like he's not a champion. He's not holding no damn belt.
now, an excuse I made for Triple H before your answer about the title is the excuse I made. It was the fact that Triple H announced the title before the draft. Therefore, the people that actually say they were on Raw at the time and like, oh my God, I hope I don't get drafted to Roman's brand because now I'm not going to be able to fight for this
Never be
title.
champion.
Because if you look at the people on SmackDown that are going to be competing for it, the majority of them were on Raw before this title was announced. So I kind of feel like it was Triple H in a kayfabe way to be like, well, here's my make good for those guys who didn't think they were going to have to be drafted to Roman's brand. I'm still giving them a shot at winning this title as well.
Fuck Triple H. That's my opinion. If we could just say it right now, that he wears women's shoes, which nothing against that, but he does. That's my opinion. And also that I enjoy
So
the delicious taste of Dr. Pepper cherry.
now, do you think the uncomfortableness of the women's shoes is what led to his decision of having SmackDown stars compete for a Raw exclusive title?
I feel like it's to keep things interesting. Like, oh, maybe there'll be a champion and already have to be switched over to Raw. Make it keep guessing. Or he's just gonna shaft them because it's like, oh well, there's no way these SmackDown guys are gonna win this championship. And even though we just had a draft, I feel like 3 weeks or whenever the hell the Night of Champions is. I kind of feel like that's a little too soon to have someone go like, oh no, you're going to go over here to Raw now. And it's
Now,
just a little, I don't know, it's just weird.
Do you at least feel a little bit better at the fact that at least the SmackDown guys are fighting other SmackDown guys on SmackDown? At least they're not traveling to Raw to fight, and then at least the final of the tournament isn't going to be on SmackDown either. It's going to be at a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I like the idea of like we're gonna have a SmackDown guys against SmackDown guys, because kind of like what my uncle told me back in the South, stick with your own. Wait.
Yeah.
It wasn't talking about wrestling.
I don't think that ever works out,
Nah.
But I don't think you could really call it a world championship either if only guys on Raw compete for it. And then another question I have is, what is Roman's title now named? Because It can no longer be the undisputed championship
Yeah.
because now people on Raw and SmackDown both competed for this new world title. So Roman's title is no longer undisputed. It is
No
very
one has.
much
It would
disputed.
be. We'll just call it the disputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. I can't even say like World Universal because he's going to have the World one over there, which is, by the way, the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh crap! It's going to be declared at Jeddah, so you could call it a World Championship
What I don't
because it'll
get,
be.
or what I think that they could do to get Roman out of this, because I'm sure you're of the same thinking as I am, is their whole meaning behind this is they're wanting Roman to surpass 1,000 days, possibly surpass the whatever 1,200 days or whatever Hulk Hogan had. But there is a very easy out that no one is talking about. Roman has had the Universal Championship for the 900 whatever day. He just got the WWE Championship, what, like 400 days ago, like at the Mania before
Yeah,
last.
400. Yeah.
So why can't we just add the length of that reign to the length of his Universal title reign? So he would really be at like 1,400 days right now. So every day that he is
Genius
champion,
idea.
really 2 days, because he has 2 titles, he's defending 2 titles. So why aren't we just counting it as 2 separate reigns? Because at the end of the day, like in the record books, when it counts how many total days you were champion, it adds your Universal and your WWE Championship days together. You know what I'm saying?
What a dick! Look at that smug face. Now, I would say I agree. I think Michael Cole needs to go on air, not Triple H. His lady shoes. By the way, my wife will be at DragCon this weekend. I believe that Michael Cole needs to go on air and say exactly what you said, and just we'll have the days combined, so every day is like adding 2, and then eventually you'll surpass the Hulk Hogan record, and he'll finally lose the championship to Marco Stunt.
Yeah. I mean, by the time that they're wanting him to lose it, Marco Stunt should be like a real life human being size by then, right?
He
Or
had to
was
have
his
gone through
growth
puberty by now.
stunted? Eh?
Is that where he got the name from?
Eh?
Oh my
I don't
god!
know.
Speaking of the draft, I'd like to just point out that I'm currently feeling a draft because I'm not wearing any pants or underwear.
Oh. And like we've told people before, once we reach 100 subscribers, even though we don't officially have a channel, we will do an episode naked. So
Totally butt ass naked.
don't know how
Cotton balls everywhere.
know how we'll buy these followers, considering we don't have a page or anything or a show to speak of. But when that
Oh my
happens,
god, we should get a page.
I should just rename my Twitch channel to the Gout Foundation, considering like that's all I use it for.
Oh god. Hey, you have my permission to use the Gout name.
Yeah, so there we go. Problem solved. Because people
There we go.
know to find us here. People know to find us
Right?
here. We've been found.
Hey, Tommy. Wait, is it Anthony? Wait, what's his name? Tony?
Tommy.
Tony or Tommy? Tommy, you still watching?
Tommy.
Tommy, are you breathing?
I am thorny.
I am thorny. So damn thorny. I don't know if he's still there. Talk to me.
The fact that people have been able to find us, even though we don't announce a time, just randomly pop on whatever day we want. I feel like if we actually had the name of a page, they may not watch us live, but they may watch the replays on Twitch. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they do on YouTube. I don't pay attention to any of that.
But you want to watch us live so we can yell at you like I do with Tommy.
Now,
Oh,
speaking of live, we did have BackLash, and that live crowd was going insane.
they were shitting
Some
themselves.
backstage at WWE, wrestlers included, are so stupid that they want to have this pay-per-view held in Puerto Rico every single year. Um, that is stupid. WWE, first off, the only reason why this even happened was the Puerto Rican Tourism Board paid the WWE $1.2 million to have the event there. So now Bad Bunny's the biggest artist on the planet. He may have the money to possibly pay the WWE to do that every year. But I would feel like if we did that, we would see crazy things like Bad Bunny beating up 6'8" wrestlers in matches and winning them. You know, like crazy
I can
stuff
see
that's
him
happening.
giving. I can see him giving a Canadian or Puerto Rican destroyer to the giant Omas.
Now, did he end up like becoming the best user of the Canadian destroyer? I mean, here's
He
one of
is
Riddle at the Rumble,
beautiful, pitch perfect.
and then here we go. This is the non-copyrighted version of the Puerto Rican destroyer.
Boom! Look at that. Can you imagine how lucky it is to be? Oh yeah, they were first one. Oh my God. These men now know what it's like to wear Bad Bunny's inner thighs as earmuffs.
You know what surprises me of all of those Puerto Rican destroyers, whatever you want to call them, is that Matt Riddle by far took the best one out of those three guys. Out of Punishment or not, what the hell's Damian Priest and Johnny Knight. Like he by far, Matt Riddle somehow took the best one out of those three guys. And I don't know, that kind of surprises me.
Because Matt Riddle has the least talent of anyone in those three?
Yes. By far the least amount of talent.
I hate Matt Riddle.
Once was in a UFC fight and won because he fought a guy that should not have even been in the UFC. Like Matt Riddle never really beat anybody in the UFC. Well, technically, he never really did beat anybody in the UFC because all of his fights were DQ'd after the fact because he never passed the drug test.
Matt Riddle looks like a burn victim covered in peach-colored Play-Doh.
Oh my God. He
does.
does.
Something weird with his face.
I've never been able to point out what is up with his face, but like, I wonder if he was burned horribly as a child and like that was the only skin. Like, that's why he has no ass. Because
just
they
like
took
me,
his ass and spread it over his face, and that's why he's an asshole.
It's an uncanny valley with his face.
Now we all know WWE was not going to make the big announcement of BackLash going to Puerto Rico every year. Didn't have any other big announcements, but you know who did have a big announcement? Who plans on having another big announcement? Mr. Tony Khan. Mr. Big
Daddy
Announcement
Khan.
himself.
Daddy
you know
Khan.
Funny is this is the official photograph that is on his laminated AEW badge to get into the facility. That's actually
Next
where
week,
I found that.
we have a huge announcement. You better watch next Wednesday.
What do you think the big announcement's going to be?
I believe that there's going to be a handful of different announcements. He's going to announce that he has a new dealer. He's going to announce that he has a large amount of Visine eye drops. He's going to reveal that Adam Cole is actually 4'9". He's going to reveal that AEW All Access is scripted. They might be bringing back Dark.
So are you telling me that Adam Cole has been wearing lifts this entire time, and that's why he looks like he's only 5'1"?
He's been wearing stilts, like old school, like walking around like clicky, 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 clicky.
I wondered why he was so much taller than the Young Bucks. But with you saying he's 4'9", now it makes sense because that's how tall the Bucks are, right? Like if you put Matt on Nick's shoulders, they're 4'9" like that.
If you put now when you get the Young Bucks and you put them on each other's shoulders, they magically turn into Roderick Strong.
Oh, fun fact. I did not know that Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly were different people until 2 weeks ago.
You heard it first here.
Because even
they're
think
not
about like the Undisputed Era in NXT. Whenever Kyle O'Reilly was injured, Roddy Strong was always there. But whenever Kyle O'Reilly was back from injury, who would be injured? Roddy Strong.
You rarely had all four. Like someone was always injured at some point, so it felt like someone was replacing the other. But they're not one amazing wrestler. It's two generic white boys.
Yeah, and like so much though. I'm producing a show when Roddy Strong made his surprise, whatever you want to call it, debut, and everybody was going crazy, and I'm sitting there, trying to be the fact checker for while I'm producing this show, telling them like, guys, he said he was coming back from injury soon. Like, not understanding why it was a big deal that Roddy Strong was in AEW, because in my head, Kyle O'Reilly is signed to AEW. He said he was coming back from injury soon. What's the big deal that he's back? But yeah, they're two different people.
He just got signed. He hadn't been signed. He just got signed. Oh man, if only we could tell any of the guys Undisputed Era apart, except for Bobby Fish. Purely because he has a mustache and that he's 50 years old.
Where's the lie?
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
It's nowhere near me. Also, are you getting tired of Tony announcing big announcements? Like, is Tony getting to the point where somebody backstage is telling him, like, man, the people are loving it. Like, the AEW fans are just loving it to death because they're messing with those WWE marks. So keep on doing it, Tony. And then, like, it's not even like a big wrestling announcement. Like, most likely, it's going to be, hey, I just signed $1 billion deal with Turner. We're going to have a show on Saturdays.
Tony Khan's like I'd like to just announce that the AEW locker room now has 2-ply bathroom toilet paper. It's no longer the 1-ply, it's 2-ply.
And it's going to be like that in probably a year and a half. That's what his big announcements are going to be down to. Because I feel
next week's episode is going to go 2 hours and 5 minutes, everybody. Pay-per-view worthy.
He's already lost a big... So he could have had something big. Even without anybody in the locker room wanting to cooperate with Punk, who's a piece of shit. I've been telling everybody in the world was a piece of shit, but everybody said that I was a piece of shit, that saying he was a piece of shit. But now that it's cool to say he's a piece of shit, I'm saying he's a piece of shit.
I was in denial.
But even though nobody got along with Punk, you would have found some people to get along with Punk. And Tony Khan is big fan of mid to late 90s WCW, wants to book that way, wants to do everything that way. And the way he could have sat up this Saturday show fell right on his lap with this whole CM Punk controversy. And he could have easily done an invasion angle, but had CM Punk do remote videos out of, so Punk didn't have to mess with anybody. FTR would be the ones in the ring messing with people, to where eventually Punk would say, "Hey, I can do this better than you can, Tony. Watch me." And then bam, the Saturday show is basically run by CM Punk with CM Punk's people. Chris Jericho biting that bullet and you know, just taking one for the team by having the rivalry with CM Punk for everybody in
Like me on
AEW.
prom night.
Man, so bad for Chris Jericho to have to, just lower himself, having to have a feud that's probably going to be the biggest thing that AEW does this year. Just sorry for Jericho to have to do that. But
Poor
it was right
Jericho.
there on Tony Lap to do an invasion angle to easily separate the two brands to where it makes sense. Because now when it's going to be
It would
done,
be
it's going to
innovative.
make zero.
To split
And
the brands and
there's
maybe even have like some type of draft. That would be so innovative and unheard of.
they're saying they're not even going to split the brands, but it's going to be more of like, for instance, like the low card people, like the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy and stuff. Like, you'll see them on both shows, but you won't see like the Elite on both shows. You won't see FTR on both shows, even though they're the tag team champions, and you probably do. But you won't see, like, you'll see like a mid carder like Christian, or a low carder like MJF, like on both shows. But you won't see like upper echelon guys like Luchasaurus on both shows. They'll probably be like brand specific.
We'll probably
And
get a main eventer like Serpentico.
yeah. And the story would have told itself to do that, but now Tony has just bought into the fact that every wrestling fan's smart. I'm only writing this show for smart fans. So when I announce this show, I'm just going to announce that, hey, we got this new show and this is happening, instead of making a major angle out of it. To where, what are we? We're in May now. The show starts in June. The big England show is in what, September, end of August. So that gives you 2 months to build possibly the biggest card and have a proper collision at All In between all of these people with this story. But instead, we're going to do the AEW thing, not tell stories, just cater to our smart fans and go, new show, Miro's going to be there. Thunder Rosa, you remember her, the good old sandbagging bitch? She's going to be there. It's going to be awesome, guys. Thunder Rosa is going to be the only woman on the roster, so we'll give her own title.
I love what they could have done. Like I said, if they split the brands, if they do this new innovative idea that no one's ever done before by splitting them into 2 different rosters, maybe even 3, give Rampage, the developmental people, God, it writes itself, and then Satan. Now and then continue that on past Double or Nothing, but have them combine and have them go against each other, like you were saying. And I would say come up with a new pay-per-view. Hear me out. Call the pay-per-view AEW Invasion.
Whoa.
You'll be printing out money.
Yeah. You know what's funny though is Invasion was WWE's biggest pay-per-view ever.
Outside of WrestleManias.
No, Invasion was the biggest pay-per-view WWE
ever.
Yes.
Period. God damn.
Yes. As far as
I even see it?
I don't know, which I think they only had like 10 people like there live. So I guess if you take live attendance into account, WrestleMania has them beat. But
Do you take into account ghosts?
But speaking of how off the rails AEW has gotten, we had the firm deletion, but members of the firm that were in the match had no idea why they were
dying to get there. So, remind me what they did.
First of all, they put that contract situation.
Ethan
They
Page
forget.
had no idea why he was driving to go get into this fight.
90% of this whole story was on Dark, which like 5 people watched.
And then, like, they show up to the compound in fucking Halloween costumes.
Like I would.
Jeff Hardy murdered Big Bill. Of the Austin Powers spot here, though. Like,
Yeah. That was a hate crime.
The best part would have been, which I know, Matt Hardy's child was too young, but the best part would have been if the kid was like, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!"
They're just standing there like, I'm not moving.
And then
Baby, hey, meet me. I'm Gothic Man. What you gonna do?
He's so goth his dad is black.
which I cut out the part that when he first sat down, he was like, "I wonder if they have Coming to America." And I wonder if he originally said Coming to America 2, because no, he should have said Coming to America 2, because isn't that on HBO Max?
It might
Which
be.
owns AEW? Yeah. So why didn't he say Coming to America 2?
Or
'Cause at first I
do
thought
they
he
own the
owned-
rights to House Party?
Everybody owns the rights to House Party.
Sting owns the rights to House Party.
I'm not joking. Look into your wallet. There's a little piece of paper that says you have 0.001% of the rights of House Party.
It's in my iPad.
That's a pretty hefty wallet there.
I make the money, baby. Yeah.
But then the end up, this amazing team here.
Brother Zay, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, your winners of tonight's main event.
Why was
They all cheated.
Montez Ford even in this? Like, did WWE just believe in the fact that nobody watches Rampage? So Montez Ford has been on AEW Dark Evolution or Elevation, and AEW Rampage.
I think that was.
I guess
I don't think that was
your wife-
Montez Ford.
you could do whatever you want to if your wife is the female John Cena, I guess.
I don't think that was Montez Ford.
Oh, really?
No.
No, look. They even call him Montez Ford.
Brother Zay,
it
Matt
looks
Hardy, Jeff Hardy, your winners of tonight's main event.
That's not Montez Ford. That's Jeff Hardy.
They said Brother Jay.
That
That was his
That-
name.
that-
And then the group catches Jeff Hardy getting high immediately after.
So glad, Sean. So good to be back. Great. You know what we did to the
And then Montez.
That was hot as
Ford,
hell.
there he was again. Fucking
That
avoiding
was-
camera.
that was Matt Hardy. He just simply looks like a chocolate prince.
So you're telling me Matt Hardy and Montez Ford are not the same person?
I believe I am. Look at my eyes. You know it to be true.
I don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Staring contest commence. Tommy, are you still watching? I need you to hold my hand, Tommy. I need the strength. Look into the television. Put your hand where my hand is and say a prayer with me. My hand is touching your hand. We're suffering in America.
Well, that was about
I got a
all
little
the
Dusty Rhodes.
craziness. That was all the craziness we had in pro wrestling this last week. You have anything to add before we take off?
Other than I looked amazing at 9 years old right there during choir practice. Everyone wore like black suits, and I decided to show up in a light green and yellow singlet. I wanted to stand out because I'm a fabulous bitch. Once again, my wife will be at DragCon this weekend.
Why, hello there.
Sorry, I was mesmerized. The hell are you drinking? You're obviously drinking a Dr. Pepper cherry.
Yes. No, I was drinking some type of cider. I was
Ew.
drinking cider. Like that
Since five.
tasted like sugar. Like it tasted better than like it was alcoholic cider that tasted better than non-alcoholic cider.
Well, that's how
That
that's how it was written in the Bible.
May your cider
Amen.
be filled with alcohol and flavor.
May they be filled with alcohol. May your underwear smell amazing after not bathing for 5 days. May your deodorant not give you a weird rash like Old Spice does. Don't use Old Spice. And may Montez Ford stop fucking around.
Like, for real. Does everybody get that from Old Spice?
A lot of people do.
Because like
I had to stop using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wear is Old Spice, and I have rashes in my armpits, and my wife always tells me to quit wearing it.
Quit wearing Old Spice immediately. I started using the non-aluminum stuff, and like immediately like stopped getting rashes, stopped itching.
It's the only deodorant that works for me though.
I know it smells so good. I sit at the Walmart and I'm like going through all the Old Spices, like because I miss it so much. I love the smell of all of them, but I can't use them anymore, or else I'm going to be doing this all day long when I get home from work.
Wow. I thought I was just crazy my whole life.
Yeah. Old Spice. They give you rashes. Skeet, motherfucker.
I could even show you.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. Ah!
See, the light's too bright. I was telling you about how my light's too bright. The light's so bright.
You shaved your armpits?
No, that's what I'm telling you. The light is so bright.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I think it singed the hairs.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Boom, 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 boom. Check it out, ladies. Oh, God, I can see a little bit red there. I see a little red. Yes, please, for the love of God, stop using Old Spice. Stop using Old Spice. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. We have changed lives tonight. We'll have a funeral for your armpits. It's so hard to say goodbye to your armpits.
All right. Well, I can't think of a better way to go out than that.
God damn it, I'm so good.
Been your boy Jay. Here with
the best scout machine, the Doja Cat of Wrestle Talk, and Jay.
And we
America
will see you in the future. Possibly the past, because we're working on a time machine.